Hello everyone. I hope you all will be fine. Uh, this is a kind of continuation of our online classes. Today we are going to discuss the remaining elements of essay writing. As you know, in the previous class we talked about essay writing. In previous class we talked about three important things, or rather four important things of essay writing. The first thing that we discussed is what is an essay, the definition of the essay we talked about. Then we talked about the structure of the essay. What is the structure? What is the way to build up an essay? Then we talked about the format, how to format your essay. If you're writing your essay in Microsoft Word, so how you manage the things over there, how you use or utilize the kit available over there. Then we talked
सर
about
जी आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी
then we talked about the thesis statement. What is the thesis statement? And as I told you, thesis statement is very important for essay writing. So thesis statement is a kind of sentence that encompasses what is going to be discussed in the following essay. So it is a kind of central idea. It takes the central idea. The whole essay revolves around this central idea. So it is a kind of statement which needs much explanation, as I discussed in the last class. And I gave you examples of thesis statement, what are the important or what are the strong thesis statements and what are the weaker thesis statements. And we talked about there shouldn't be any kind of facts in the thesis statement. That should be general in the sense that it encompasses what are the aspects in the essay. So these were the things that we talked about. The last thing that this was the last thing that we talked about, means thesis statement. So today I will discuss some of the thesis statement. I will share rather with you people. You will try to find out whether the thesis statement is strong or not strong. It is I mean, should we include it as a thesis statement or it is not a thesis statement? So I'm going to share with you the screen, so you will be able to see the statements and you will decide whether those are thesis statements or not. So just look at these statements. I have shared my screen with you people. I think it is visible for you people. Just come to the first sentence, first thesis statement. A, the top government official in my country is the Prime Minister. This is a kind of thesis statement. Now you need to... जी बेटा.
सर वो कुछ स्टूडेंट को अलाउ करें आप, वो मीटिंग में आना चाहते हैं तो.
Okay बेटा, I will. Okay, they have been allowed. So look at the first sentence, whether you consider it as a thesis statement or not. The top government official in my country is the Prime Minister. Do you think it is a kind of thesis statement? This can be taken as thesis statement? Can anyone answer me? Is this can this be a kind of thesis statement that the top government official in my country is the Prime Minister? No, it can't be, because it is a kind of fact. It doesn't need any kind of explanation. it can be explained, but not that much as other statements that we will discuss right now. So it is a kind of general sentence that this can be a kind of sentence, title sentence. This can be a kind of title sentence, means it can be main sentence of the paragraph. This cannot be the thesis statement of the essay. Next, come to the next sentence. B, some people prefer digital cameras while others like traditional cameras. Some people prefer digital cameras while others like traditional cameras. Just look at the sentence. It is a kind of general sentence. This needs much explanation. The first part also, the second part also. There is a kind of comparison between digital cameras and traditional cameras, and likes and dislikes. So this can be taken as a thesis statement. So it is a general sentence. Now come to the third sentence. India became an independent country in 1947. This is again a fact. This is not a kind of a sentence which needs much explanation. So it is again a fact. This doesn't need that kind of explanation. It can't be a thesis statement. Now, D, to be a successful student, good study habits are more important than intelligence. So, what do you think? Can it be a kind of thesis statement or not? So this is, yes, it needs explanation. Now, good habits are more important than intelligence. Now, you will have to support either the good habits of study, good study habits, and the intelligence. So the writer, मैंने बताया था ना कि मतलब आप जब दो चीज़ों की कंपैरिजन करते हैं, सपोज न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी के हवाले से we talked about advantages and disadvantages. We can't say in the thesis statement that nuclear energy has both advantages and disadvantages. This is a kind of confusing sentence in the thesis statement. It can be part of the essay in a journal sense, means कहीं पे भी ये sentence के तौर पे आ सकता है, but not, it can't be a kind of thesis statement. Means जो अभी nuclear energy वाली जो बात मैंने की उसके हवाले से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. Similarly, यहाँ पे दो चीज़ों का वो comparison करना चाह रहा, और उसको जो topic दिया गया है, that is related to this comparison between study habits, good study habits, and intelligence. So the writer in this sentence has chosen the latter, chosen the former, that is good study habits. So to be a successful student, good habits are more important than intelligence. So this is important, that this sentence needs explanation because it is in the mood of comparison. Now, there are several advantages of owning a car, but there are also many disadvantages. This is again a kind of comparison between disadvantages and advantages. There are several advantages of owning a car, but there are also many disadvantages. Again, this is a kind of confusing sentence as a thesis statement. So we will not take it as a thesis statement. Using public transportation would be one of the best ways to solve the traffic and pollution problems in cities around the world. This is again a strong thesis statement. This can be taken as a kind of thesis statement. While traveling, staying in a hotel offers more comfort, but sleeping in tent is less expensive. While traveling, staying in a hotel offers, ये thesis statement के तौर पे लिया जा सकता, but it is not a strong thesis statement. It is a weaker thesis statement. इसको मजीद मॉडिफाई करके मज़ीद इसको बेहतर बनाया जा सकता है, बिकॉज यू हैव चूजन बोथ अगेन, कि मतलब वो स्टेइंग इन अ होटल ऑफर्स मोर कंफर्ट बट स्लीपिंग इन अ टेंट इज लेस एक्सपेंसिव. देयर इज अगेन a kind of comparison, and this can be a kind of thesis statement, but not a strong thesis statement, rather it is a kind of weaker thesis statement. Classical music concerts are very popular in my country. This can't be a kind of thesis statement. In order to create a successful advertisement, it is necessary to consider, this is the last statement we are talking about. In order to create a successful advertisement, it is necessary to consider three issues: who should be targeted, where the ad should be placed, and what type of ad should be made. This is a kind of strong thesis statement because it has encompassed what is going to be discussed in the essay. It has pointed out the aspects, the three main aspects, which further can be explained, which further can be divided, as this one sentence has divided, or it has covered three aspects of the essay. So this is how we build up the thesis statements. So your thesis statement is important in the essay. So try to build a thesis statement. As I told you, कि मतलब जब आपने thesis statement build करनी है तो you need to build this thesis statement at the end of the paragraph, first paragraph, that is introductory paragraph. Now we are talking about the process of essay writing. In essay writing, we need to keep it in mind some of the aspects, some of the steps that you follow while writing. The first thing that you need to ponder over is choice of the subject. So choice of subject is important. So when you are given multiple topics, particularly when you are sitting in an examination hall, you are given a paper, and that paper contains some 3, 4, 5 topics related, given on the essay. So you need to choose one of them. What will be your choice depends upon your ability regarding that topic, your knowledge regarding that topic. If you have knowledge regarding a particular kind of topic, you need to go for that. So choice of subject is important. As you know, in CSS exam, there are some 7, 8 topics which are from multiple disciplines. So a topic can be related with the economy of the country. Another topic can be related with literature. Another topic can be related with the history. Another topic will be related with the what we can say social evils, social problems. So there can be multiple topics in the essay, but you need to choose the one about which you have enough knowledge, about which you have enough information. So it is important to select, choose the topic, keeping in view your abilities, keeping in view your knowledge, keeping in view your command on that subject, on that discipline. So essay writing, the first step is of choice of subject. So you will choose the subject about which you have enough knowledge, enough information, enough facts and figures, enough command. Then, as I told you, that information is important. Only language can't be enough to build up an essay, because language is a kind of medium through which you convey the message. But the most important thing is the message, what kind of message you have, and that message contains the information, because you need to build up an essay of some 300 words in general, that when you are writing an essay for the examination of your class, means in the class of BS. And when you are writing essay in the CSS exam, you need to write an essay of some 25 and 300,000 words, 2500 or 3000 words. So that is a lengthy essay which needs a more information. So information is important when you have information that can be conveyed with the help of language. Now, where does this information come from? So there are multiple sources, multiple ways that you can acquire this information. If you are a good reader, you can read a number of things, a number of books, articles, newspapers, journals. So wait for a while, please. Okay, so we were talking about the multiple sources that we can utilize in order to get or acquire the information. So as I told you, reading books, reading newspapers, reading journals can be a source of information from where you can get the information. So you can get facts and figures from these sources. Another way of getting information is observation. Means your observations should be strong. Suppose when you are watching a TV program, means like talk shows in the night programs, you can observe the things. If you are watching TV channels for news, even you can observe multiple things and you can quote examples. You can get ideas from those things. If you are watching a documentary, if you are watching a movie, if you're walking in a street, you can observe multiple things. So suppose if you are walking from street to street, if you are going to the market, on your way to market, you can observe multiple things, a number of things. Suppose if the topic of your essay is a social problem like garbage in the streets. So if you are walking through through a street, you will observe multiple social evils like throwing of garbage. So you can write about that thing by observing that situation. So you will find people in the markets. You can write something about their behavior, whether their behavior is constructive or destructive. So your observation is important. So only reading book is not enough. So observing the situation will enable you write something, or enables you analyze the situation. Then after observation, there comes the thinking process. So we don't prepare our students or even our brothers, our younger siblings to think about the situations. So thinking power is important. So that is a kind of practice. Whenever we are thinking, जब हम सोचते हैं तो मतलब आपको अंदाज़ा होगा कि मतलब हम उन चीज़ों के बारे में सोचते नहीं हैं जो पॉसिबल हो. मतलब in thinking we become great cricketers, although we do not play. Whenever you are watching a movie, whenever you are watching a drama, sometimes you think that the actual hero is not that person, rather you yourself are the hero. So you are making castles in the air. मतलब वो जो कहते हैं ना कि उसको उर्दू में क्या कहते हैं, हवाओं में महल बनाना. This is how we think about the things. So we do not think कि मतलब सिचुएशन के बारे में हम सोचना स्टार्ट करें कि मतलब ये सिचुएशन क्रिएट क्यों होती है, हमारे अंदर ये बुराइयां क्यों हैं, सोसाइटी के अंदर डेवलपमेंट क्यों नहीं हो रही है. So we can think in this way, but we don't think. मतलब इस अंदाज में तो हम think कर सकते हैं, but unfortunately we don't think in this way. So Another thing that comes in the process is practice. Practice is important. Means after writing a single essay, one can't be a good writer. So writing comes with practice. It doesn't mean कि मतलब आप always you should write the essays. Uh, just when you are sitting in your room, when you are alone, just try to write something uh, like मतलब आपके surrounding में कोई picture है. You can describe that picture on the wall. If there is a picture, you can describe that picture. Try to describe it. You will learn something from that description. You will learn something from that practice. Suppose you are going to market, you find a dog in a ditch. आप उस पे लिख सकते हैं. मतलब if you find a person who is throwing stones on dogs, उस पे आप बहुत कुछ लिख सकते हैं. So these are the ideas, or these are the topics that you can write about. So these things will give you a kind of practice that you will be having enough practice to write on big issues, on big topics. So practice is very important. Wait. Now, practice is important. In the next class, means tomorrow, we will talk about the elements, the characteristics the essay must have, like unity, coherence, proportion, and the balance. Then we will talk about the beginning of the essay, how to start your essay, what would be the first paragraph, and how should it be built. These will be discussed in the next class. Then how should we start an essay properly, उसके हवाले से हम बात करेंगे. फिर हम एक एग्जांपल देंगे कि मतलब how an essay can be outlined. So this is enough for today. Inshallah, we will meet tomorrow.